Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're just taking a look at these old Minecraft videos that I had laying around. I just wanted to edit them together and preserve the memories for myself, and just in case any of you guys are curious or interested in this sort of thing. But basically what we're looking at here is one of the servers that I used to play on, and this is probably the first update video that I did. As you can see there, it was a Japanese castle in the works. We had a townie server with MCMMO, which, as you can see, there's a ton of crops here, which was underneath the castle, and that is actually a very small amount when you see what I did later on. The reason why I had so many crops on the server was because you could level up your individual skills. Farming was one of them, and using those skills, you could actually make more money on the server by buying and selling the items that you farm. And if you had a higher level, then you could yield more crops. Here we're taking a look at the town, which was 99% made by the group that I was playing with, which were my viewers at the time. And I often wonder if these same people still watch me, but they did an amazing job working on this. And the great part about it was this was a group effort. It wasn't like sectioned off. People were actually communicating and working with each other on this. And I think they did an outstanding job creating this Japanese themed town. And, you know, originally there was no theme for the town, but they just started making it. One day I log in and there's a whole Japanese town here, and they did an amazing job. I really can't stress that enough. Here we have some sort of farm that this guy was working on. I can't remember if he ever finished it. Unfortunately, the videos that we have here are only just partial updates. I wish that I had recorded what the updates were like right before the server shut down, because they were really amazing. Actually, I think the server hit a restart. I still tried to play on the same server after a while, but it just wasn't the same. Some of the players were there, but the people that followed me weren't there anymore, and I was just by myself. It wasn't really the same. So I think now we're going to take a look through some of the places, some of the player housing. And basically what this server was, it was basically, it was PvP, but it was a townie server. I actually have parts of the video that is in a faction server, which was PvP heavy there. Here we can see one of the players' houses, which I think this guy still watches me. I'm not sure, but I could be wrong about that. But nonetheless, it is a beautiful house. You can see that he's actually breeding some sheep outside with different colors. And basically, we would work together in this town, and we would try and create every little bit of what the game has to offer. We try to become self-sustaining within the town, and you can see that in small amounts. And pretty much the town itself is very form over function, as where my house, when we get there in a bit, you'll see that it's function over form, because it's practically a farming station for just about everything you can get in the game, and you get massive quantities of it. But as you can see, these guys really planned out their houses very well, and the texture pack that I'm using is like Ovo's Rustic 64-bit, and this is on a pretty old update on the game. I still play Minecraft occasionally. I don't think anybody here would care if I made Minecraft videos, so that's the only reason I haven't. Like, I log in every now and then, but basically what I do now is I have a private server set up for just myself. I have MCMMO running, and I have, I don't remember what version of Minecraft I have going on, but it's an older version. That way I can use this mod pack that I have that allows me to have certain exploits, such as it allows me to place blocks faster, mine them faster, also have night vision and stuff like that. So it really helps out to play that way. But I have a little nice server going on there, but it's just me, and I don't really plan to open it up. Here's this one guy's house that didn't really conform on the inside to the Japanese theme, but on the outside it looked pretty cool, and I think this user was named Berserk. I think he actually rage quit, and that was kind of the start of the downfall of the entire town right here. But here we see this forbidden spawner that we have. It's a chicken farm. As you can see, there's so many chickens in there that the light doesn't even register on it. And the mods of this server would get so angry at us for having this many animals down there, and because it would actually lag the server, but only when people were near it, and this was so far out that it really wouldn't cause any harm. So we would always have the mods coming in and killing all of our animals that we would have, and they would keep the loot for themselves, which was pretty messed up, and that was what eventually led me to having massive amounts of monster, and not really monster farms, but animal harvesting stations down in my house, which we're actually going to right now. I wish it was daytime, but you know, you can't really control that stuff on a server. So here we're going up to this massive tree, and basically what I eventually did with this tree is I carved out all of the leaves, because basically what I did was this tree was totally organic. I would just stack pieces of dirt and grow it and remove the dirt and place a log there. So you would have branches there, and basically what I did was I replaced the branches eventually with pink wool, and it became this massive cherry blossom tree inspired by the cherry blossom tree in Chopper's origin story in One Piece. As you can see there, I have the hidden doors, which are piston operated. Here's just a little ready room, which I eventually turned into a farming station for repair skills, where I would stand up against a cactus and damage my diamond armor and repair it. I got some really huge gains off of that. This is the version 1 of my chest room, which was really it was not very intuitive, honestly, and I don't know what I was thinking when I did this, but you can see later on in the video there's an update to this, and I don't know, I have lots of chests, and eventually it came to the point where the room was filled with chests all around the walls, and I didn't have any more space, so I had to make other rooms for chests. As we go down here, we have other rooms, and this is all for farming wheat, as you can see, and it's funny because you'll see later on in this video that there's a server that we played on earlier, which the videos are less interesting, so I'll put it after, where it was basically this one giant tube that was either 50 by 50, the same size as this, or 100 by 100, I can't remember. But going downstairs, we see that there's carrots, we see here that there's potatoes, and, you know, I practically had everything right here. And this is a very primitive melon farm, which it actually becomes larger, you can see in the later part of the video, and I really wish I took more time in the final updates to show you guys more of this. I just didn't. I also regret moving the mouse so fast or recording in 30 frames while played in 60 frames because it makes it really jagged. This is an updated version of the chest room. As you can see, there's pictures of what everything is inside of the boxes right here, and you can see the steel armor on that is actually diamond armor and other enchanted armor. So, yeah, every chest has its purpose, and they're practically all filled. And it's pretty funny, too, because I had some decoy chests, but as you can see down there with the fire pit and all of the, it's hard to see it. I wish I had spent more time down there, but that was a massive generated, not really generated, but it was a massive potato cooking station where I would get a massive amount of XP and cook potatoes from that. And there was a massive potato farm that's exactly like this, this farm right here that you're seeing for the sugarcane. And as you can see, it's a pretty big station. It just looks like one of the other 50 by 50 or 100 by 100 stations that I showed you for the wheat. But there is one big difference here, is that sugarcane is the easiest to mine because you can just go across. So you can see that I have a setup here where I just go across and mine a sugarcane. And this setup that I have, if I remember correctly, yields over 10,000 sugar canes in one harvest, and it's so big that by the time you finish, it's practically regrown, so you can literally harvest all day long. And when you did things like that, I would gain a lot of XP. I think, yeah, I would gain a lot of XP from doing that, and I was actually #1 on the server in practically all of the skills. And people always wondered how I did it so fast. I had these massive farming stations. I really wish I had shown you more, but here is basically a quick look at what it looks like updated. As you can see, it's practically the same. The melon farm goes all the way up. We have a, I don't even know what that's called, but you can see there that we practically have everything farmed. That was an animal farm right there, which I really wish I had shown you more, because I had every color of sheep. And down here is actually something that's really interesting because I have it all cobblestone. It was another farming method, and because my farming skill was so high, I could actually plant seeds. You know, I had an abundance of seeds from all the wheat that I had farmed, and you can actually place them into the cobblestone and create, you could create the mossy cobble, and basically what that would do is reset the value of the cobblestone and allow you to gain mining experience from mining it again. There were other exploits that I had as well in the MCMMO system where you could do things such as get smooth touch on a diamond pickaxe, use your mining skill to strike at a diamond ore, and it would basically give you so many, I would basically get tons of diamonds from just a single ore. And basically what you're looking at right here is the previous server that we played on, which was a faction server. As you can see, it is a either 50 by 50 or 100 by 100 diameter, what is that stuff called? Obsidian? It's basically from sky limit to ground limit, and this is on a PvP faction server, so people were hunting for my head the entire time, so I had to make sure it was out there far away. As you can see, there's a tree farm right here. And going down, it's just this empty tube, and this is the first update. I eventually filled most of the floors and had different purposes for them, and basically what we were doing on the server, I had different viewers that watch my videos. They would come here, and it would be basically just a group effort as well, and all of this that you're seeing right now is mostly done by me. I think this was the first update, and basically what I did on this server, I created a faction called Yakuza because there was this gambling minigame that the mods had added, and I taped the mouse button down in front of it, and they didn't realize that the game is kind of broken, and I stood there for like a full day, I think. I left the computer off to the side with the mouse button taped down, and in day 1, I gained 3 million in server money, when the #1 richest player only had 1 million, and then I had bought nothing but you know, the obsidian there, and I built it to sky limit, and what I was doing was working on building or drilling down, mining down to floor limit to encapsulate that in the obsidian as well. And basically what I did after a lot of updates was that I went up to the absolute roof, which was sky limit, and I poured lava all the way around it so that nobody could get in. And unfortunately, everything that we had here was wrecked. We eventually fled the server. This is a bit of an update here, as you can see. We eventually fled the server because there was another faction of PvPers there who were using hacks. I know they were hacking because I was hacking too, but I was non-toxic. I wasn't going around raiding people like that. And also, I wasn't aware that TNT on this server could destroy obsidian. I didn't know that. This was all claimed territory here, so I didn't think other players could touch it. So that was ultimately my downfall, because it was such a large area that they eventually TNT bombed. They used TNT cannons down below, and they managed to get through all of the lava and come up through, they mined up through the bottom here, and they eventually got in and destroyed everything, and we moved servers after this because, you know, we spent a lot of time there. Yeah, I guess you could say we rage quit, but as you can see here, this was the effect of what my viewers had done to the base here. They came down here and they were mining all of this. They put in a lot of work here, and I really appreciated all of the work that they did because we were working towards a group effort, and this was just... This is actually ground level. It's actually a lot below ground level, but this is where my original base was. I remember coming here and just starting to dig and flatten out the land and everything when it was like nothing but grass, and I spent like the full day there while I was watching anime on the other computer here, and yeah, I did all that, and the other players on the servers, the mods and everything, thought I was hacking, which... Honestly, I was, but I wasn't doing anything that would give me a massive lead. A few things that I did on previous servers, like I'd got some great stories with Code Provider where we had played and actually used a lot of exploits. Like we would gather the MCMMO skills max, and then we would turn on the nuke function on the hacks, which servers like this wouldn't allow anyways. They would kick you or ban you, but on that server it didn't, and we would go into the nether and we would do that, and we would get like 100 diamonds and cakes out of nothing but sand, and that was pretty fun. But these servers are pretty legit. Anyways, let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. If you want to see some Minecraft videos, let me know about that as well. I don't really play that much, but I might, and I'll see you next time.